Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to a match reaction show. It's finished. Spain 2, Netherlands 1 after extra time. Spain in their first ever Women's World Cup semi-final. They deserved it. They were the better team across the 120 minutes. I think Netherlands probably had maybe 2 minutes in that opening 90 where they looked like a threat, and then maybe about 5-10 minutes in the second 5 minutes in the second half of extra time where they had two good chances. But other than that, I mean, Spain just dominated from minute 1 to minute 120. I mean, and Netherlands will be disappointed because I thought coming into this tournament, marginally they might have been the second best side of this tournament so far behind Japan. Spain might say that that they were there as well. I think Spain were probably third, but it was between Spain and Netherlands really, and the 4-0 probably puts it a bit in Netherlands' favor. But today, I mean, Spain looked by far and away superior to Netherlands in every aspect, and Netherlands will be disappointed with that because they never got going, and that's the worst part. And maybe part of it was that they were missing Van der Rock, and this game was out with the suspension, so that did make an impact as well, I feel, on the way that they played. But Jonker should have changed that much sooner than he did. But credit to Spain, they looked absolutely excellent throughout the game. They looked very good, looked very solid. And I just feel that 4-0 defeat to Japan, in some ways, that has been a lesson for Spain in how to play against teams who play on the counter. Because today, Netherlands tried countering. I think so many times they tried to put that direct ball, and every time Spain had an answer for it. There was nothing that Beerensteyn could have done to get past through the counter. And for some reason, Netherlands refused to play through the middle. And I think maybe because Van der Donk wasn't available, so they decided not to play through the middle. But every time they counted, Spain were like, yeah, that's okay, we'll just clear it. And I thought that was good to see. That being said, the issue for Spain has always been goal scoring, and today was no different. The issue was goal scoring. There's so many chances. I mean, that double hit of the post in the first half, and you see something that you think to yourself, man, it's going to be a bad day for Spain, and they missed that chance. I don't know how they missed it. There are a couple of very good saves from Domselaar, who I think has been the best goalkeeper of the tournament so far. Really excellent today as well. Was very good in the last game as well against South Africa. Really good here as well today against Spain. There was one player on that Netherlands side who didn't deserve to be on the losing side. It was probably Van Domselaar, but it's sad. But I mean, she had an excellent game. She was she was player of the match, woman of the match for Netherlands. But it ultimately, they did break them down. The penalty, now there was a penalty before the main one. There was a penalty shot on Beerensteyn. Was that a penalty? I don't think it was a penalty. But what I will say is that it's very interesting that for the second time in this tournament, this might have happened before as well. We're seeing VAR getting really involved in the decision making. Like, the referee gives a penalty. Normally, those kind of decisions, and we in the Premier League, right? If that kind of penalty was given, the referee wouldn't intervene. The referee would have, the VAR wouldn't have intervened. They would have been like, yeah, okay, they're given, it's going to stay. In this one, rightly or wrongly, VAR decides to intervene and goes to the referee and says, look, that might not be a penalty, go take a look. It happened as well in the game against England and Nigeria as well, where there was a penalty given, and then they asked her to check it and overturn it. So I don't know how I feel about that at the moment, because it's like, sometimes you've got to give the referee the authority to make those kind of decisions, and you've got to defer if it's not a clear and obvious error to the referee side. But I feel like the clear and obvious error rule is kind of been loosened a bit, for the Women's World Cup. So that's an interesting one. But anyway, that wasn't given. And then Spain do get a penalty on the other end, which was a penalty. I mean, I don't know, Van der Gragt, someone who's so experienced, someone so, having played so many games and is so mature, to have to make an error like that, it's just unbelievable. She's basically, I think she's just lazy. Defending is lazy, it's casual, because it's almost like, the cross wasn't that dangerous. So she could have, let it go through as well. But I think she almost felt like, I'm outside the box, so I'm going to put a hand, because even if it catches me, the referee doesn't see it. If the referee sees it, it's going to be handball and it's going to be a free kick. It's almost lazy. She doesn't realize where she is. She doesn't realize what she's doing. It's just like casual. And as it turned out, she was right at the edge of the box. So when it hit her hand, it was actually inside the box. And right decision. Penalty was the right decision. And it almost didn't go in, though. I mean, that penalty almost came out from Caldentey. Caldentey didn't actually hit it properly. And when I looked at Caldentey, I thought that she might miss the penalty. And I was like, if Van Domselaar can get it right, she might actually save it, because Caldentey didn't look confident taking that penalty, and it showed. It hit the post and it went in. It could have easily gone out, could have easily hit the post and missed it, but it went in. Spain were 1-0 up, and at that point, Netherlands had created absolutely nothing. The sum total of 0 creating, and I'm not even. This is not an exaggeration. It created nothing up to that point. And you thought, well, Spain will see this out. They should go on and win this, because Netherlands have done nothing to suggest they can get back in it. But they did get back in it. I think part of that was Spain being a little bit too defensive. and I think they were not that. They were. I think as soon as they scored the goal, Spain almost felt obligated to let Netherlands attack them. Almost felt obligated to drop deeper for some reason, and that allowed Netherlands to have the space. I felt that Willems coming on before the goal also kind of helped them out in terms of the shape. I think was much better once Willems came on. But fed directly into the goal, and the goal came, and Van der Gragt, the scorer. It's a good pass, by the way, forward, and I thought Van der Gragt was offside, but she wasn't, because Oyan Hernandez was playing her on side. Poor defending there from Oyan, but great one from Van der Gragt. It's a good finish as well, by the way. From a defender's point of view, that's a very good finish, and it's 1-1. And at that point, my memory flashed back to the quarterfinal between England and Spain at the European Championships. If you remember that one, Spain dominated England for almost a full 90, and they were leading 1-0. And then suddenly a goal comes from out of nowhere. It's 1-1, and Spain going to go on to lose that in extra time. And you thought, well, will that happen? This to repeat itself again? It almost did, because 2 good chances for Beerensteyn in the second half, and she should have taken at least one of them. I mean, the first one I can understand. It's on the left foot. It's a bit difficult. She couldn't quite switch it onto her right. I can understand that one not going in. Sometimes that is a problem. The second one, though, that's got to be taken, because if she's right in front of goal, she's just got to make sure that she gets it on target. Not to get it on target is criminal, because all she's got to do is get it on target, and then the goalkeeper saves it, but she has to get it on target. She's one-on-one. She's past her marker. It's right in front of goal. She's got to do better than what she did in that one. And the kicker of that is right on the next play, right after that chance. Spain go up and score a goal. Paralluelo, just the pass from Hermoso is excellent. And Paralluelo just runs, and again she gets in off the post as well. I think Van Domselaar could have done better on that one. I think she kind of felt it's going wide, or that it's going to. I think she kind of overestimated her knowledge of the post, because I think she almost doesn't save it. She almost doesn't react quickly enough, and I can only think that either she wasn't expecting a shot to the far post, or which I think was more likely she thought it was going wide and it just went in. I think that was lack of judgment there, but I'm not going to blame her too much for that. I think that the real issue was the defending for the Hermoso pass. Hermoso just turned the defender, and then after that it really was about whether Paralluelo could get it on target or not. I mean, in that position you always say with the striker, the attacker. So it's a good goal for her. And she had a good game today, and it's 2-1. And what I think Spain did well after the goal is they learned from what they did wrong after being 1-0 up, where they almost went deep and defended deeply and tried to stay out the game. Instead, they said, no, we're going to attack. We're going to keep attacking, because what we have been doing has been working in the Netherlands. We're not going to change that. We're not going to give the Dutch the upper hand. And so they didn't drop deep, and I thought they learned from the mistake, which is very, very good to see. And the result is that Spain are going to be in the semi-finals, where possibly Sweden or Japan will evade them. That's going to be a cracker of a game, whoever they play. But I think Spain have learned a lot from that Japan defeat. I think they have, and they've grown from that, I feel. And obviously they hammered Switzerland. They were the better team here. And if Japan make it through, and if they do, I think they'll be facing a very different Spanish team to the one that they played in the group stages. So that'll be a good game if that happens. But they still have to get past Sweden first. And that's going to be, it's going to be difficult, because Sweden are going to make life tough. But nonetheless, I mean, well done to Spain. I think Jenni Hermoso was my man of the match, played really well. Van Domselaar could have got it as well. If, maybe if it had gone to penalties, I probably would have given it to Van Domselaar. But I think Hermoso was excellent. And I was surprised Batlle didn't come on earlier than she should have. I know she's not had a very good tournament so far, but the reality is that Spain were not really, they were creating chances, but they weren't really, finishing them off. So Batlle really helps with that. But nonetheless, doesn't really matter. In the end, it's 2-1. Congratulations to Spain. Well done through to the semi-finals. Share your thoughts, of course, on the game. Smash like for Spain. It's too bad to say. I have a soft spot for the Dutch, so I'm sad to see them go out. But just weren't in it today. And this is something that's a problem for Dutch, football in general. They get into good situations. You see like they're in a good moment, and then they do something to mess it up, and they did that today. I think that the selections were wrong. And he should have changed it. I mean, persisting with the 3-1-4-2 for as long as he did, when you realize it's not working, you got to change that much sooner. Ultimately it didn't. I think if they changed it sooner, maybe they could have got more control of the game and not allowed Spain to just play their own way. But yeah, I mean, you can't. Ultimately, I think that those are the margins in football, isn't it? It's just sad. But anyway, well done to Spain. Smash a like for them. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Always appreciate your support. Do also, and thank you so much for watching. We're going to have more videos coming up, so subscribe so you can stay notified. And we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.